Oh, oh, la la la, oh, oh, bada bada ba boom. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome to this Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday. Welcome everybody. Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday. Not much in the news. Not much really going on in the news. Any specific story? I was drawn to, medical stuff. Right. I'm very interested. I've taken a very interesting and interested perspective on health. Maybe because I'm pushing 60 years old and such, and maybe that's a natural occurrence in life where you get old and then you look out and you see perhaps your own death pending. Maybe, I don't know. I see a lot of people my age, right? I was having a realization yesterday. I was in the supermarket, getting out of my car in the suburbs and walking into the supermarket. And I started to, sometimes when you see young people, they're happy and they're energetic. When you look at old people, especially when they're by themselves, they look like they look like they're suffering. They look like they know. It's people in their late 50s, 60s, 70s. They feel like, it looks like they think they know that they could die at any minute. And life sucks now because I don't have that natural spark I once had. That's what people think. I think they think. I don't think that. I look at it and say, I'm still alive, man, and that's the way it's going to be, right? I'm all in, right? I'm all in until I drop. But here's the difference. The difference is that I'm in that supermarket shopping for rich and healthy and good eats. Things that promote good health, like fruits and vegetables, and I stay away from the crap, right? And if you look very closely at Marcus Conti, yesterday was it's been 30, it's been very cold. And, but the sun was out, 2 days ago. I was out there shirtless with, taking in the rays, right? Because if you set yourself up right, in the cold weather, you don't really feel it. You don't feel, if you're out of the wind and the sun is out, you're not cold, right? And you're soaking up the rays, the sun god, right? You don't think of the sun as a god, but the sun is a god. The sun provides everything here. Everything on earth is infused with the sun, whether it grows, whether it's the water, whether it's your body. You could choose to. So that's how I live. But there's others roaming the planet. Hopefully, you're not one of them, and you're taking the 90-day meditation challenge, my 90-day meditation challenge, where you sit for 10 days every day, and you forget about all this nonsense, all this crap. Oh, it's my life is short. Fucking life sucks. Right? Forget about all that, right? And you get out there, right? If you're like that. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, big medical, big pharma, however you want to frame it, really enjoy sick people, and they make the money on the back of sick people, whether they're physically sick, psychologically sick, or just plain old sick, whatever that means to you. And they're going after your children. They did it with the vaccines. Now I know big medical is very powerful. I know the deal. I know when you push, against power, power has power, and power will shut you down and shut you up. But we're going to say it anyway because it needs to be said. Because they're going after the children now, and they got this hospital out in St. Louis where it's not very difficult for a child, teenager, late, fucking puberty, 12, 13, 14 years old, very confused in their lives, and they are sold on some sort of idea of changing their sex. So you're born a male. Here's my thumbnail for today. I just want to be a boy. Is that a girl? Girl, teenager, she just wants to be a boy. And because of her identity crises at that age. Now, look also. Children haven't even had sex yet. Children, by law, are not allowed to watch other human beings even have sex. So what exactly do these children really, really know about sex if they're not educated, have never experienced it, have never, really, think about it. But they could walk into a hospital, 14-year-old can, with a note from a psychiatrist, a psychologist, some schmuck, right? Some dude with more degrees than a thermometer says, yeah, they can, they're ready to transition, man. I had an extensive examination of the child, and the child is a boy trapped inside of a girl's body and needs to transform. And we're going to recommend testosterone and epinephrine and whatever else we could throw at the kid and get him to change, right? That's what's happening, right? It's the kids are becoming cash crops for Big Pharma, and it should be disturbing because if you inject a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old, jack them up with testosterone or estrogen, whichever way you're going, you're gonna have long-lasting and very, very pronounced side effects to those chemicals that you're throwing into the body. Right? You're going to create sterility, maybe diabetes, cancer, other stuff too. It's going to feed on that crap, the poison that you're putting into these kids' body. Now, it's okay for a girl in the image. If you look at the image closely, it is a young child with a sign says, "I just want to be a boy." All right. Well, why do you need anybody's help to be a boy? Why don't you just act like a boy and nobody will bother you? Why don't you buy some, Tonka trucks or I don't know, whatever else boys do. Go join the baseball team or I don't know, drink beer and jerk off with your friends. Whatever boys smoke. I don't know, but why do you have to go to the extreme of trying to inject yourself or allowing Big Pharma to inject you? You're not old enough to even understand what you're doing. Point blank. I don't care. You're not old enough. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're trying to transition from male to female. You're 12 years old. Why don't you? So that's a story we'll talk about. I just think that I don't know. It's bizarre when we have a medical industry that signs this kind of thing. There's places where kids could walk in and do this kind of thing. So we're going to look at that fascinating story. There's a lot of other hodgepodge stories. We got an FBI whistleblower. This story comes from... No, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, the FBI is examining the balloon. You remember the balloon, the big Chinese balloon? We're never going to find out, by the way. It doesn't seem that the FBI is going to tell us exactly what they found. We can't trust them anymore. The FBI is not trustworthy. So we're not going to find out exactly what they found in the water. Right now, all these days later, they're claiming, oh, we only got pieces. We don't have enough evidence to show that China was actually spying on us in any significant way. You mean a balloon gets popped and goes down almost completely intact? Right? All that blew up was a hole. They blew a hole through a balloon and it popped and it fell into the ocean. And you're telling me all the pieces spread out in the water and you can't find it? It probably comes up in one piece. The FBI is telling us now that, oh, yeah, we don't have enough evidence to say that what China was up to. So they're already lying. Lie. So look at those stories. And what else? There was UN, because of the sanctions, UN is now saying, U.S., why don't you send some money to Syria to help them in their time of trouble? They just had an earthquake. And the U.S. turns around and says, no, we can't do that. We have sanctions. They didn't cooperate with the UN and such, and so we're not going to help them in their earthquake because they didn't cooperate with us. And that is the way the United States. Also, the House votes to end the vaccine mandate. Finally, you can. So if you were a foreigner, say you were, I don't know, from Britain or something, you wanted to come visit the U.S., you had to get a vaccine in fucking England to come to the United States, where most of the people didn't bother with it anyway, right? Most. I certainly didn't bother with it. I thought it was ridiculous then. I think it's ridiculous now. And until there's a gun to my head, I'm not getting any vaccines, But so we lifted the mandate on travel, and that's a good thing. And so the Super Bowl is when is it? Next weekend. Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles, green, is taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, all in red. And I don't know if you knew this, but I found out for the first time yesterday. Like, I was looking at the ticket prices. Do you know how much a ticket costs to go to see the Super Bowl? The cheapest fucking ticket in the house, right? Or the most expensive ticket? Do you have any idea how much these tickets cost? I'll stand by and you're going to find out because it's ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous amount of money to go watch a football game in the fucking nosebleed seats, sit all the way at the top of the stadium, and pay exorbitant amounts of money where you can't even see the game. Why don't you sit in front of your giant for the price of a cheap seat at the Super Bowl? You could buy an entertainment room, literally. You could buy a 200-foot screen for that price. So look at that. So my name is Marcus Conte. I got a website. Today is Friday. We're just speed reading the news. We'll also look at the markets, which have been down over the last 3 days. Justin Falzone says, my guess is $500 for the nosebleed. All right, so Justin, you are way fucking off, right? I was way off. I put it at for cheap seats, I don't know, $100. It's unbelievable. You'll see what it is. So suspense, right? I'm keeping you in suspense. So I have a website every morning at 9 a.m., Monday through Friday, we're live, and Tuesday at 7 p.m., we're live for the Dharma Gathering, Tuesday night Dharma Gathering, and open discussion where we all go into the space capsule if you're willing, and we'll talk it out. And so we're live 6 times per week, and everything else is here. If you're watching live on YouTube, if not, you're watching across Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, Truth Social, and wherever else social media is consumed, we are there. And, I have a new way of funding the program. It's direct bank deposit, no middleman. This is the way to go, man. This is it. All right. Why do you got to give your money over to PayPal and all these? Yeah, I like PayPal. PayPal's been very, kind to me at least. But there's no VIG. There's no, there's no participation fee when one bank to the other. So if you'd like to contribute to this program, do it via Zelle. Go to your bank account, initiate Zelle, and you could send it to my email address, shorthappylife@gmail.com. So here we go. We'll start. I'll end the suspense on the Super Bowl. Last minute Super Bowl, what is that? 57. We're in Super Bowl 57. ticket prices slide. They're complaining that the ticket prices have slid. So there are only 3 days before Super Bowl, blah, 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 and Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, so it's this Sunday? When is the fucking Super Bowl? Super Bowl. When is the Super Bowl? It's Sunday? It's Sunday. My bad. All right, I stand corrected. It's this Sunday. Right? So I thought it was next week. So this Sunday, brace yourself, Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles. I'm in the great state of Pennsylvania, so I see a lot of people roaming around and yelling and screaming wearing green. But look at the prices. Last-minute tickets are being snapped up for an average of $6,513. You jackasses. Paying $6,000. You gotta love football, man. You gotta love football. $6,513 for a fucking ticket, man. Holy shit! What a sucker! What a bunch of fucking suckers. So also average price is actually much higher than that. It's average price is almost $9,000, and this has been going on since 2013. Prices have gone slightly down since 2018. But what happened, man? What happened? The cheapest tickets in the house are $4,362. The average price is $6,900. And the most expensive, $30,469. For a football game. For a goddamn football game. What else do you get for that? What else do you get? Do you get a foot rub? Do you get a massage? Do you get open bar? Open fucking hot dogs? Why should... Look, if you're paying $4,000, $5,000, should you be paying another $12 or $15 for a hot dog? And $25 for a... How much is a beer? How much are they charging for beer at the Super Bowl? It was a fucking... I mean, you paid $5,000 to get in. Shouldn't all that be included? I think it should. At a bare minimum, right? I don't give a shit about the game. I'm just curious. Oh, who's the... I do care about the game. Halftime entertainment. Super Bowl. Who's the halftime entertainment? Who do we got? Halftime entertainment is Rihanna. Cricket, Rihanna, and more. Who else? Can we have some white people? Some people that sing to white people? That's fucking raw. I don't like her. I don't think she's very talented. Rock Nation. Wow, this is gonna be a shit. This is going to be all the line dancing blacks. You know, when they do the twerk and they're line dancing and they're doing this and they're doing this and they do this and they do that and they turn around, they spin and it's just, this is we call this entertainment. So we're going to see a lot of that. Man. Yeah, so Super Bowl, there you go, man. Prices are ridiculous. And more prices are fucking out of control on this. Look, go all the way up in the nosebleed seats, $3,000. Where's the $30,000 seat? Where's the people paying $30,000? Is it right on the field? It should be, right, for this kind of money. Where's the $30,000? $30,000. Must be like fucking right on stage. So anyway, so this is horrible too, right? Suppose you're walking one day out there in Arizona. You and your loved one, happy couple, you're walking along the sidewalk, and some psychopath, some fucking
downright disturbing moments caught on camera.
An insane person runs their fucking truck on the sidewalk and wipes you and your boyfriend out. Look at this. They froze it at the moment of impact, but you see where it's leading. The guy's moving, man. The guy, that's a hit right there. That's a 15, 20 mile an hour hit by a truck. So the female is in a coma. The guy got away with a couple of broken ribs. But it's crazy, right? It's just a random act of violence. And the killer said, Torres, his name is, who is facing 2 counts of aggravated assault. Aggravated assault? It's fucking attempted murder. You're using a 4,000-pound truck and pointing it at skin and bone. All right, that's murder. That's attempted murder. Torres's wife reported him acting strange. All right. He says he was having issues with his brain and that, quote, the devil told him to kill 3 people, according to court documents. So there's a fucking insane person who isn't insane enough to own a truck, right, and whacks 3 people. Right? These are the victims, right? Just regular people in their 60s, ready for retirement, probably worked hard their whole lives, looking to kick back and relax finally. And they get fucking run over by some psychopath, man. So be aware, man. I don't know. Walk on the sidewalk, man. Don't trust anybody. Never, ever, ever walk out in front of a moving vehicle. Ever. I walk all the time, right? And even in New York City, I see people walk out because the light is green and the cars are still moving and they're slowing down. I fucking wait till that car is at a dead stop, right? Or if I'm standing there at a stop sign and a car stops and goes like this, waves me and forward, I go like this. You go, bro. I don't walk out in front of cars while they're moving. I wait. I wait until the car is gone because that's the safest way to cross the street when there's no cars there. If there's a car and there's somebody in a car 10 feet from your body, you're in the front of that car, and they got their foot on the brake. Yeah, they're stepping at the stop sign. But what happens if they accidentally pull their foot? People are fucked up, man. Pull their foot off the brake and roll into you. Then what? Wait till there's no cars coming. That's the proper way to cross a fucking street. Now, in this case, the guy came up on the sidewalk. Nothing you can do about it. I don't know. I mean, I think I would have seen the car coming, and I would have elected to jump up. I would have tried to jump up and at least, roll out maybe. I don't know, getting hit on impact, but whatever, man. But what's the point? The point is, there's crazy effing people out there. The guy wanted to kill 3 people because the devil told him to do it. All right, be careful, man. Be careful. In good news, this is good news. House votes to end vaccine mandate for foreigners traveling to the U.S. Finally, 3 years later, we still have a mandate for foreigners traveling into America that must be injected with a psychedelic vaccine? Huh? Really? That was still on the books? Why? So it's still a bill. The good Republicans, Thomas Massey, representative from Kentucky, Republican representative, a bill to terminate the requirement imposed by Director of Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I think it went through. The vote was in, so it's done. Bill passed by 227 to 201. Now, I would like to see the names of the 201 House of Representatives that voted to keep a vaccine mandate in place with foreigners. How fucking reckless are you? How snowblind and fucking gaslit are you? Let go of it already. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. The mandate is gone. But what's scary is the number. I would imagine it's the left, right? The blues The blue says, no, you need your vaccine, man. You got to get it. I got it, so you got to get it. Everybody coming into the country has to have it, even though it doesn't work. It stopped working 6 months ago, 12 months ago. It's not the same. No, they don't care. They just fucking get the shot, man. Get the shot, man. So, UN warns, the UN has to warn us that very little earthquake aid reaching Syria amid U.S. sanctions. United States, oh God, what a great nation we live in. Syria and Turkey are under goddamn earthquake rubble, and a wealthy nation like the United States, who spends billions and billions and billions of dollars to prop up other nations, can't find it in their heart to give just a little bit to Syria to help them dig themselves out of the earthquake. No, you can't have it. That's it. You can't. No. We have sanctions, and no, fuck you, and find your own way out of the rubble. Right? You didn't play ball, Syria. Assad. Right? Assad is still in power. No. Assad, he's got to go, and then we'll give you some earthquake money. Right? So, United States doing it again. We're the problem. What's the problem right now in Syria and Turkey getting aid for the earthquake? It's the United States. We're blocking it. We are blocking aid under the guise of sanctions. That's a good thing, right? It makes sense. No. You see, you don't understand politics. You don't see. That's what the government tells you. They say, "Oh, you don't understand." So you don't understand policy. You don't understand war policy. Therefore, you should just shut up and do as you're told. We have sanctions against Syria because Assad was siding with Putin, and Putin was giving money to Assad, and Assad gassed his people, which turned out to not be true. But even if it was true, he did it, and therefore we can't support Syria even after they had an earthquake. Do you understand now? Do you see the connection between not giving Syria? It's that ridiculous. Not exactly, but quite ridiculous. So, United States standing in the way. So the spy balloon. You heard? Chinese spy balloon. The FBI. Hold on a second. FBI is claiming that they only have pieces of the Chinese spy balloon as of now. We don't have the whole balloon. We don't have enough pieces to assess that China was, in fact, it was a spy balloon. Right? All these days later, I don't know, was it like 5 days already? 6 days? That's a long time. You're telling me it takes the Navy 6 days to pull out a fucking balloon out of the water and give it? Come on. So there's shenanigans going on here. It looks like, and Biden, Grandpa has already stated that I don't think there's any problem. I don't think we were compromised at all. Says Joe, I don't think we were compromised. It looks like China was just, it was a weather balloon, got out of hand. Or something like that. But don't you want to see? Don't you want to see? We can't trust the FBI to show us what the fuck they spent all that money and military might. They had a F-22 fighter jet shoot it down, precision shot right through the balloon, right, the part where the gas was, and they took it down. But we're not going to see it. Here's the images they're giving out. FBI evidence. You don't see anything. What do you see? You see a bunch of people's backs and fucking and plastic. They're not showing you anything. Showing some pair of fat fucks in an unmarked disclosed place somewhere. What is this? Is this a plane? Is this a plane or is this the bow of a boat? It's probably the inside of a boat. So there's the divers going down, and they're telling us, no, we don't have enough information yet to assess if China was in fact spying, and bullshit. So we're not going to know. They knew in 10 seconds, right? They knew before the fucking thing, they knew an hour later, right? All they need is the electronics, devices, and they'll figure out what the thing was filming. If not... If they weren't, they probably were able to do it from the ground. So here's the startling story. Let's look at the market before. Let's see what we got here. A ding, a ding, a ding, a ding, a ding, a ding. It looks like we're going to open red because Jamie Dimon over at J.P. Morgan Chase won't shut his hole. Investors cheer disinflation. Jamie Dimon says, not so fast. So the big banks, big Wall Street is saying, no, man. It only goes up when we say it goes up, yo. No. We're not satisfied yet. The government hasn't given us enough incentive to drive the prices of equities up. So fuck you and hold your breath, says Jamie Dimon. That's a translation from Jewish New York, Jamie Dimon, and the rest of them, Goldman Sachs. That old Jew. The old Jew. I remember Dave Chappelle says when he went to Hollywood, and he said, I got to tell you, there are a lot of Jews. Remember when he said that? Dave Chappelle. Hollywood, there are a lot of Jews. Right? Hey, Dave, why don't you get off your ass and go to Wall Street, and you will find a lot of Jews. There's tons of Jews on Wall Street. Goldman Sachs, Oppenheimer Securities, all the big firms, they're all Jew. They're all Brooklyn, New York Jews. And, is that a bad thing? Well, it is if you're not a Jew and you want to work there and you want to go all the way up the ladder. You'll get halfway up the ladder. Jews will hire you halfway up the ladder, but the top echelon of the hierarchy in any of these places is all Jew. It's all Jew. So Jewish New York has spoken. Let's look at the markets. It looks like we're going to open red. We're open. So let's look. Give me a second here. All right, Dow, nice. All right, Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 26 in the green. S&P 500 is up 5, down 5. The Nasdaq down 62 at this moment. Looks like it might click. It might click green. We'll find out in a few minutes. And Apple down 50 cents. Amazon down 62 cents. Google up $1. Meta, formerly Facebook, holding at 176 per share. Microsoft down 50 cents. Rivian, 1891, becoming a better buy every day. We are moving towards battery-operated vehicles. I don't see how it doesn't happen with Rivian and/or Tesla. Most automakers, Chevrolet, Ford, GM, they're all going to become electric vehicle makers at some point. But the ones that are like Tesla and Rivian that do it exclusively have a little bit of a head start. Right? They'll get some competition when the rest of the industry clicks over. In the war stocks, Lockheed Martin up $4. They probably like what they see. Don't vilify China, vilify Russia. Whatever their business model is, selling bombs and shit. Military, the Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, the holiest of holy stocks on the stock market, the stocks that give you the holy vaccine. You would think they'd be down a little today because the news is that even foreigners who Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson sell the vaccine to are not required to have the vaccine anymore. Still holding. So I would say probably the bottom is in for these companies. And they got to find a new way to poison you. And I guess this will be the way right here. So they're going after your kids. Right? Hold on for this one. Right? This is the story that I wanted to talk about 34 minutes later. Whistleblower, there's a whistleblower, lifts lid on St. Louis kids' gender clinic. Morally and medically appalling, says the whistleblower. So here's the story. So just imagine for yourself. Try to get some skin in the game, even if you don't have one. Imagine you have a 12-year-old kid, right? And I don't know. It seems the kid seems to be well balanced for a 12-year-old. Sort of, the usual confusion of 12. Doesn't know how to handle, aggressive bullies or whatever the fuck the kid's problem is at 12. But on a grander scale, you don't have to have a kid to understand. But if you did, would you want your kids exposed to something like this? Just listen. Clinics doling out medications to kids demanding gender transitions are permanently harming them, says the whistleblower, is morally and medically appalling procedures with little oversight, according to a former clinical worker. So someone on the inside in the clinic is saying it. In a stunning condemnation, Jamie Reed, 42 years old, a former case manager in Washington University Transgender Center. There's a transgender center in St. Louis Children's Hospital, said that's a she, quit in November after 4 years because I could no longer participate in what was happening there. What is happening, she says, is morally and medically appalling. According to Reed, who describes herself as a queer progressive and married to a trans man. So it's probably two men. It's two dudes. Two dudes are married. One of them works at the clinic. Thought it was a good idea. Oh yeah, I'm going to help kids transition. I feel their pain. Another one sick taking care of the fucking even more sick. Soon after she started working at the pediatric gender clinic, she was struck by the lack of formal protocols for treatment, leaving physician co-directors as the sole authority. So it's good service it is doing. She, him, whatever it is doing. So to make it more efficient for the therapists, we offered them a template for how to write a letter in support of transitions. Right? All the kid needs is a letter of support from a therapist who they had to see only once or twice for the green light. A therapist, some confused man, queer man with a queer man husband is able to give a kid the green light. A kid, your kid, 12 years old, to become a different sex using fucking endocrinologist and testosterone prescriptions. Right? Giving girls testosterone so that they become more manly. Right? Reed also slammed the center for downplaying possible negative consequences on both boys and girls, including suicide. Now, am I old? Am I getting too old for this? Is Marcus Conte am I just too old? I don't see it anymore. I'm like when I was a kid and you saw older people railing against children and the modern day. You look at him and say, oh, this guy's so fucking old, man. Look how pathetic he is, man. Look how homophobic he is. Look how racist he is, man. He just doesn't understand his own homophobia and his own racism. Is that really what's going on? Am I a homophobe and a racist because I can't see these things? Or do I see it and you don't? Damn it. I think it's the latter. But according to the whistleblower, being put on powerful doses of testosterone or estrogen, enough to try to trick your body into mimicking the opposite sex, affects the rest of the body too. As if you had to be told that. By injecting testosterone and fucking estrogen into your body, it's not just going to affect the sex part of the body, it's going to affect the whole part of the body. I doubt that any patient who's ever consented to give their kid testosterone knows what they're also possibly signing their kid up for, which is blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication, sleep apnea, and diabetes medications. So you're helping, you can't even say it with a straight face. You're allegedly helping children transition to the opposite sex, not a different sex, the opposite sex. And you're creating, you're thinking, your mind in the medical profession, their mind is, no, we're helping the child. You don't understand, man, the child is suffering. All the child's suffering and pain is because they're trapped in the wrong sex. And we need to help them escape their own body. And in doing that, you're creating high blood pressure. You're clogging up their heart with fucking cholesterol. Sleep apnea, meaning that you could die in your sleep. And diabetes, which is horrible. Horrible, right? Your blood sugar is escalates, and you die, man. You're ruined. You wind up on insulin for the rest of your life. So she added, the whistleblower, our patients were told about some side effects, including sterility. Add that to the list, sterility. So if you're a woman and you're injecting yourself with testosterone, you're not going to be able to have a baby. If you're a man shooting yourself up with estrogen, your fucking sperm is infertile. Right? And this is what we're doing to kids. But after working at the center, she said, I came to believe that teenagers are simply not capable of fully grasping what it means to make the decision to become infertile while still a minor. We're supposed to protect minors. We protect them from predators. We protect them from the, terrible devil of pornography, where they can watch visually people having sex and see for themselves what the appropriate parts are. That's bad. You can't let them see that. But they could watch violent movies of people's heads getting blown off and bombs going off. No problem. Not a problem at all. But to explore their own sexuality before they started. Look, these people, young kids. The 12-year-old is likely to never have had sex, is likely to never have touched someone the opposite sex, their own age, right? Has no idea what they really want and don't want. The last thing you should be doing with someone in that situation is offering them some way fucking barbaric, way out there, draconian, drastic fucking measure of injecting themselves with something that can create the opposite sex, allegedly, in them, which it never will. Hey, 15-year-old boy wanting to be a girl, I got news for you. You will never have a full functioning vagina and womb. You will never be a woman. You will never have real tits. You will always have a beard. Right? Women, you will never, girls, kids, hey, female kids, you will never have a full functioning penis. It won't happen. It's not going to happen. Right? No surgery is going to offer you that. No pill is going to make you a man. Right? It's in your mind. If you want the mind of a man, create malehood in your life and people will applaud that. Nobody. But you're pushing the limit. You're pushing your body into a place that it doesn't need to go and shouldn't go. Right? You shouldn't be shooting yourself up with these crazy ass hormones trying to induce the opposite sex in you, inside of you. Right? But we're allowing it to happen. That's the real tragedy. I think it's obvious that the kids, shouldn't be doing this, but we're allowing it to happen at the highest levels of medical field. At the medical field, we have hospitals that are devoted. In the children's hospital, a whole wing is devoted to transitioning fucking kids into the wrong sex, right? Or transitioning them into something else. I don't even know what to say about the Western world. So there's the image, right? There it is. Young girl, young female, right? Born female. I just want to be a boy. I just want to be a boy. If you want to be a boy, why don't you wait until you're like in your 20s and write stories about wanting to be a boy? Why don't you go on the talk show circuit and say, when I'm 25, I'm going to be a boy. I'm doing everything I can organically and naturally to become a boy. I dress like a boy. I act like a boy. I date, people that are boy friendly, like girls. I'm a boy. Why don't you just call yourself a boy? Why do we need to see you suffer by injecting yourself with stuff? You're not sexier. It doesn't make you sexier and more appealing. It only makes you sexier and more appealing. I'll take that back. It makes you sexier and more appealing to crazy people. People that like your fucking pain. Right? Why else would you do it? Right? I mean, look, I've met and have been friends with many, many, many gay men. Many, many gay men. I worked in, the New York City catering industry for, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, however long it was, as a captain, in charge of the troops. And, literally hundreds of gay men. And I've rarely met gay men that like transsexual women or men that dress like women. They don't like that, man. Most gay men, I got news for you. If you don't know anything about gay men, most gay men like men. Did you know that? They didn't like some transgender fucking dress wearing fruitcake injecting himself with tit fucking silicone and everything else. No, they don't like that. They liked me, the 30-year-old handsome buck, They liked me. They were attracted to me, and I wasn't gay. I'm like, hey, man, I'll be your friend. And then once they understand that, then you're friends. They don't hit on you. Gay men are very respectful like that, especially in the workplace. They're not going to hit on you. And the point is, they're not attracted to fucking freaks. They're attracted to men. Most gay men. Most, I would imagine, I haven't met enough gay women, but most gay women are attracted to women, very feminine women. So anyway, I don't know where what it says to the freaks. I would imagine that anybody who severs their organs, their sexual organs, severs and transforms that flesh from one organ to another, through manipulation. Anybody who does something as barbaric as that is only going to attract a freak of equal capacity, equal mental and physical capacity. You're not going to attract real people. So anyway, Marty's Conti reporting. Thanks for joining me. And hey, man, thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Vinny DiMartini, for the moderation. Imperfect Citizen is here. Jonte Tack Ray is here as well. Margie O. I saw Weevil Girl in there earlier. William J. Hall. Thank you all for joining me. Cass Philly Camden is here. And Weevil Girl, Weesty, what's up, Weesty? How are you? Quinn Smith, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you all being here. I hope you appreciate me being here. And I'll continue to be here until, I don't know, until something catastrophic happens. I don't know. I just, this is what I do, man. I don't know. At least I know. At least I know who I am, man. At least I know. I got it all figured out, man. I know who I am. I know what I'm going to be doing in the next 20 minutes, which is running to the hilltop. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday. Have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy yourself. And it looks like we're going to have some pretty warmer weather, which is nice. And get out in the sun, drink water, relax, meditate. Take the 90-day meditation challenge for 10 minutes. Sit for 10 minutes. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. No sound. Go out by yourself. Go out where it's quiet and there's no humans, no people. And for 10 minutes, enjoy yourself. Just breathing. For 10 minutes. And do that. And do it Saturday, do it Sunday. Let's talk on Monday after you do it. Ars Conte reporting.